G'day guys, how are you? I'm Iski. Welcome to my YouTube video. Today, this is going to be so different. Different to anything else that I've ever released. We are going to go gardening. I've never gardened in my life. I've never planted anything in my life. And today we're going to start. This here, if you don't already know, this is ginger. Incredibly expensive to buy in the shops. Coles and Woolies, it's just highway robbery. There's no reason for it to be so expensive. They sell it for $45 to $60 a kilo here in Australia, and we are just forced to pay that. It's crazy. But you know me, I don't like paying for stuff. So today we're going to start growing our own. And my mate Orbs, he gave me these two plants. I love them. I got them a few weeks ago and I've been taking care of them. Orbs, he's in his 80s and he's an amazing gardener, and he's got heaps of this stuff growing. And so he's kind of kick-started my interest in growing it. He said it's really simple to do it, but the thing is, that's not enough. I can easily go through two. I have a lot of curries. I eat curries so much, and that takes a lot of ginger. So basically I want to get some more. And anyway, Orbs dropped in yesterday and he gave me a full bag full of all of this ginger that he'd pulled out of his garden. He'd cut it back, and the roots are still on there and all of that kind of stuff. So we're going to be planting that today. So what are we going to plant it in, I hear you ask? Well, let's go and have a look. Being the good little dump rat that I am, I've been looking out at the dump for stuff to plant things in. Here we have a copper. It's copper. It's like this copper bowl or sink, but it's sitting inside this iron kind of holder. So I don't think that's going to work, because I've been told. I actually asked my mate Orbs, I said, can I use these stainless steel drums if I cut the top off those out of dryers? And he said they probably get too hot and cook the roots. And I would say this would definitely be the same, considering it's a lot thicker than those stainless steel bowls over there. So that's out of the question. But then I found this thing, which is this really cool old copper. No, it's not a copper, it's just a boiler from one of those wood-fired ovens. You know, the Crowns, the Crown number 12. I actually had one of those ovens. And yeah, so, but it's the same deal. That's metal, so I can't use that either. A couple of months ago I saw these people throwing this big pig out and I asked them if I could have it, and they said sure, it's just an old kid's toy box. I thought that might do, but it's kind of on the small side as well, and I think it'll deteriorate. I don't think it'll be UV rated, so that's out. A few weeks ago I found this beautiful pot. It's really nice, but it's just not big enough, so that's out as well. Which leads me to what we're going to use, and that's it there. That there, folks, is a swimming pool sand filter. And I see these getting thrown out quite a bit at the dump, and I grab them all the time. And the reason why I used to grab them is because I wanted to make fish ponds out of them or grow water lotus in them. And yeah, I haven't done any of those. I've actually cut a few up, and my mum and dad, they take them all the time and they grow stuff in them, and that's awesome. So that's what we're going to use today. I was planning on cutting this down for you, but to be honest, I think I'm not going to do that, because I've already got a couple that are already cut. You can see one here. This is a green one. We have a look inside there. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's huge as well. That's nice and big. That's what we want. In fact, this is the one here. This is what we're going to use today. This is one that's already cut, and we'll be putting some holes in this to, you know, drain the water out, etc. But there you go. Now, if you do want to cut one of these down, I'll just let you know what to use. I used to use, in the beginning, I was using this very dangerous 9-inch grinder. One of the most dangerous tools that you can ever use. Don't do that. Use one of those. Just a normal $7 handsaw. I found that they work better than the grinders. I mean, that just glides through this stuff. It's very easy to cut, and it's cheap as well. So that's what you should use if you want to do it. Now, in today's little project, I will be doing a little bit of cutting. In fact, what I plan on doing is cutting some handles. I just want to put a couple of, you know, holes in there, square rectangular holes, so I can kind of put my hand in there, pick it up. one on that side, one on that side, and move it around, probably with a friend by the time it's got its potting mix in there. And that'll just make life a bit easier. Talking about potting mix, I just got back from Bunnings, and this is what we got. Apparently this is the good stuff. I showed my mate Orbs, and he said, mate, you got the good stuff. That's the expensive good stuff. You've done well, son, he said. So that's awesome. I grabbed one bag, but I went back and I got another bag because I think we're going to need it. So that's the plan today. I am going to fill this up. I'm going to get this ready, then fill it up and plant some ginger. And anyway, I'm going to use a jigsaw to cut these holes out in this pot. And I'll go and set up, and I'll get back to you and we'll get into it. Alrighty, okay, so I've moved inside into the air conditioning. I don't know if you noticed, but outside is stinking hot at the moment. It is so hot, it's literally the hottest part of the day. And I was just looking back at some of that footage that I just shot, and you can see the heat waves in the air. So I'm going to actually mark this out here, cut our handles, drill our holes for the base to let the water flow out, and then we'll go outside and plant us some ginger. So first of all, I've just got this, I just have this spirit level. I'm just going to mark just something on this side. This is directly in the center, so I know these handles are well placed. Okay, now where do I want to put these handles? That's why I grabbed this masking tape. I might just put a bit of masking tape down, draw a couple of rectangles, and then cut those out. So I was just going to draw a couple of rectangles, and then I found these. These are just some off-cut bits of timber. Can we just put those there and just trace around them maybe? Maybe sink them down to about there. I reckon that looks good. What do you think? Should we just cut that out? Then we can put our hand in there and move it around. I reckon that'll work. It's not too far down, so yeah, no, that's good. I'll do the same for the other side, and we'll cut those out. In fact, I'll cut this one out first. All right. In fact, I'll put you back up here. Alright, there we go. Doesn't need to be fancy. Now I can lift it up like that. How good is that? Alright, time to drill us some holes. We need some drainage holes, eh? So I'll just put one in each one of these feet. Well, there you go. Check this out. Look at that mess. Got some nice handles there. I'll clean those up a little bit later. But that's awesome. I mean, I can fill this entire thing up with heavy potting mix now, and those handles will take the weight. And we have a bunch of holes down the bottom as well. I put some holes in the feet so that the water wouldn't accumulate in those sections. and drain away. So I don't think I went too crazy. I don't know. Can you put too much drainage in a pot? Beats me. I've never done this before, but that's it. Can't change it now. Check this out. This is our ginger. This is the stuff I told you that my mate Orbs dropped off yesterday. And that's it. Look at all that. What a great head start. That's what we're going to be planting. There you go. And this stuff over here, the more established looking stuff, that there is the original stuff. So he's actually planted that last season or whenever he planted it. And from that, all of this has grown off it. And yesterday I actually snapped it off so I could get as many plants as I could. And that's the deal. Anyway, what I think I might also do is actually plant this stuff as well, because that stuff there is organic ginger and that should grow again. So how cool would that be? Whereas I've been trying to grow some Coles and Woolworths ginger, and it's really not easy to do because they apparently spray it with some kind of chemical. It's some kind of anti-shooting suppressant. It stops it from shooting while it's in storage. So yeah, it's very difficult to do that. I've been trying, but anyway, I'm not even thinking about that stuff now that I got all this. So the deal is, let's go and plant this, eh? Let's go fill that pot up and see how this looks at the end. Rightio, here we go. We have our pot and we have our potting mix. We've got some ginger and we have our original plant from the beginning of this video. So what I'm going to do is just set you guys here on this step ladder, and I'm going to start by pouring this first. Oh man, this is heavy. A lot of mix in here. Oh, that feels good. Man, it's warm. Whoa. Wow. Actually, that's filled it up quite a fair bit. That's... Wow. Man, it doesn't look like any kind of gardening dirt that I'm used to. But I think if I put the whole next bag in, it's going to be too much, right? I guess what we should probably do is maybe put some of the... I mean, there's a fair bit of potting mix in this thing here. Maybe what I should do is kind of fish these plants out first, and then kind of we'll work it out. I'm just going to see what we got in here. Put the plants. Oh, here we go. That's one. Now it needs to be higher, I think. I can see parts of rotted bits of ginger. Anyway, listen, I'm just going to do what feels right. I'm going to leave those in the centre, I think. Now we have one that's just growing here. There we go, you can see. Oh wow, there's actually another shoot coming off that. You see that one? Excellent. So let's keep that. I'm putting that down here. We have another bit of ginger here, but that's rotted, so we can... I wonder if I can just throw that in there. Will that actually act like some bit of a mulch or something? Yeah, I'll stick it in there anyway. Alright, maybe there's some other pits that are still growing. This one here is also rotted. Let's throw that in there anyway. Smells nice. Now, is there any more? No, I think that's it. I think that is it. Okay, so I'm going to lift these plants out and then I'm going to pour the rest of this stuff in first. Oh, come on. Maybe I should have put that down the bottom. Too late. mix it up a bit. This is what they call getting your hands dirty in the garden, eh? Alright, so that is probably a good 30 mil underneath the handles. I'd like it to come all the way up to the handles, I reckon. So, in fact, these ginger plants here, they can go in now. I'm going to put those in the centre. Like that. I think that'll be okay. In fact, I'm going to start planting some of these other baby ginger, young ginger I should say. I'm going to start putting some of these in here, because by the time I can put some more of that potting mix around it, that should be the good height. In fact, I brought out a bunch of skewers, like some sticks, so that I can actually mark where these are. So there's one there, one there. Alright, so these are our original ones. I'm going to break this off because I can see a couple of eyes on there. I can see that eye, that eye. I think there's an eye on that. There's an eye there. And that's what Orbs told me that you have to look out for. That's where they grow from. Should I use this? In fact, I will plant this. I can see, I think that's actually a big eye coming off there, so I think, in fact, I'll break that there. I'll eat this one tonight with some curry, or tomorrow night. I'll plant this one, and I'm going to mark it. Alright, so there's some ginger there. I'm running out of space. I know I should have done two. I should have used that green pot as well, I reckon. That's okay. That's for the next lot. In fact, I'm going to break open this potting mix here. Just get a couple of handfuls of that out. Break this up a little bit. I think we've got a couple of nice looking eyes here. Let's stick this in. Hopefully that'll grow. Listen, I think I'm going to keep the rest. Let's eat it. Let's eat these ones. That's curry. Alright. Anyway, I think that's good enough. I don't know if I want to put too much more potting mix in there. I do want to put a bit of mulch on top of this soon enough at some point, because what I've noticed is when it rains really heavy, it kind of, I don't know, it just looks like it damages the kind of, I think if there was mulch on top of it, it would just kind of soften that rain hitting the potting mix. Whoop. there you go. I'll give you a quick look. That's what I've come up with. Got some sticks that are marking some of those roots that I've buried. You know, the old ginger. So awesome. Now, listen, I'm not really sure how possums react to this stuff. I've noticed when I had this a couple of weeks ago, or at least a week ago, I noticed it was dug up. Something had dug it up, and it didn't eat it, but one of these plants, it looked like it had been chewed a bit, but I don't want any possums to get at this, so that's why I think I'm going to lift this one up. If you remember at the beginning of this video, I actually had that sitting on top of this thing here, and that was to prevent any possums or predators or anything that might want to get to this to get to it. So I think I'm going to put it back up there. I don't know, let's see how heavy this is. Let's see if I can lift this. No. Oh man, that's heavy. Okay, I'll have to go get my neighbour. But I'll do that later. Excellent. That's it. I'm going to go and get some water now and give it a good watering. I guess I could wait for the rain, for the storm to get here, but well, there you go. That's gardening DIY dump rat style. And I think it turned out okay. I'm pretty happy with that. I reckon that'll grow. I'm pretty sure it'll grow, and I will let you know. We'll do a couple of follow-up vids. We'll definitely do a harvest video and see what we get out of this. I'm not sure when that's going to be. Maybe at the end of summer. We're just starting summer, or at least we're at least a quarter of the way through summer. I'll have to talk to my mate, see what he reckons. But listen, I'll keep you informed. I'm hoping some of those old ginger will grow again. You can see they're the ones where the skewers are, where there's no actual stalks coming through. But I reckon we're onto a good thing. Yeah, and yeah, I hope you like my pot idea. I hope you think that was a good idea. Just need someone to help me lift it now and stick it up there, possum-proof this thing. But that's it, guys. I'd like to say thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.